Hello and welcome to Getter Farms. We're back with another episode of the Minnesota Millennial Farmer map, and we are still in midwinter. We've got just a few things to wrap up before we get into spring, and the first of which is we've got to finish selling the rest of our corn. And so if you look here, you can see corn prices are way up today, and we've got a corn price on the grain buyer. We don't have one up on the CHS elevator. I'm going to assume it's pretty close, and because we have a sell point set up there for auto drive, and so we're just going to fire these trucks off to run up and back on their own while we get a few other things done. I'm going to cut in front of that guy, hopefully not get run over, and I went ahead off camera and set up auto drive courses here around the bins as well, so that I could have multiple trucks coming in, getting filled, and not be bumping into each other or waiting for each other. And so this is going to work pretty well. And I'm just going to get this truck loaded up here real quick, and then we've got to go over and take care of our animals. And I've been a little bit annoyed by how little food our cows actually take, because we don't have that many of them. And so if we look at our animal menu while that's filling up, we only got 6 cows because that's how many go into our truck. But, like a third of food is only 740 liters. So I can't even put a whole bale in at a time. So I think we're going to get a few more cows just so that it's a little bit easier to feed them. And so I've got this truck loaded up. We're going to fire him off as well. And they should go and come back, and we'll check back in on them in a little bit here. So I don't have to worry about them. I know they can sell. So let's jump over here to the cow farm real quick. And, so I've got the truck all hooked up here to the animal trailer already, it looks like. And so we're going to go ahead and drive this over to the animal purchase area, and this is one area I forgot to put a waypoint in for auto drive. So give me just a moment, and I am going to switch over to my keyboard, or not keyboard, my steering mode. Alright, steering mode has been enabled, and by steering mode enabled, really I mean when I use the steering wheel, I have to reposition the entire mic because it pushes me back from the desk a little over a foot. So it takes a couple minutes to just move everything into place and get it all set back up. We are not making as much as I thought we would. I'm trying to do the math in my head here on whether or not that's a good deal at CHS. Let's real quick double check that. We're going to let it go this time. I don't want to spend all episodes setting up auto drive courses. We've done enough of that. And so we're just going to let the corn go up to the elevator. And we're just going to call it a contract that we had up there with the elevator. So we're missing out on a couple bucks here, but that's okay. We're doing all right now that we've sold quite a few loads of corn there. We're up to $280,000 already, and I've been trying to be pretty diligent about, outside of swapping in some equipment, I'm not putting in a bunch of extra money. So that's actually money earned from grain sales primarily. So we should be in a pretty good spot, and we're going to use a good chunk of that money here to purchase some cows. I guess I could go in cab. It's always disorienting to me to drive in cab in Farm Sim because of the lack of a wider field of view, to be honest. Let me see if I can turn that auto drive window off as well. There we go. That's better. Normally I would expect to be able to see both mirrors when driving. And I think, kind of. The fun thing about video games versus reality is, in reality, you've got some level of peripheral vision, where here we don't. Wow, there's a major frames drop there for a second. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to stop here. I don't seem to have very much sound. I'm just checking to see if game sound is not working at all, or if I just turned down the volume on my... I just did that. My speakers were turned way down for some reason. That's better. You guys are hearing more sound than I am. All over the place today. My apologies. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to grab, I think, just one more trailer full of animals. I don't want to get too many. I just want to get to a point where I can, toss a bale in the feed area. And so I think right now, it's probably half a bale, a little bit less that the cows need. So if I can get, well, maybe I'm going to need to take 2 trips then, because 1 trip is just not quite going to be enough. So we're gonna get 2 loads of cows. That's the plan. We left this gate open. I don't think I left the other side open. No siree. So can I just push R? I can. And then it would help if I remembered which cows I got. I think I got the more expensive of the 2. So these are the more expensive. Yeah. So we're going to just fill this up. Oh, 6. Confirm. We'll run over here and grab the gate real quick, like... Oh yeah, that's only $15,000. So we're going to do 2 loads of these. Oh, we bumped it. It's okay. And I think what we'll do here is if I can just get him back out onto the main road, like so, and then I can turn on auto drive and tell him to go to the animal farm, figure yourself out, and then we're going to jump back over to the main farm and load these trucks up real quick. And so I hop out here, turn the auger on if I can get in position. I like that the lights come on too. It's such a nice little touch. Turn that on. I think if I turn this on to 1 round trip, that when he gets back, he won't still be a hired worker costing me money. I'm not sure they're costing me money, but I think they, yeah, I see the money's going down there, so they're definitely costing me money while they're driving. And so I want to make sure that when they get back to waiting for me to do something, that they're not on the clock, so to speak. I don't mind if they charge me money while they're driving, but paying for them to sit here and do nothing, not so much a good idea. And go forth and sell. So he's going to do his thing. And we lost a truck. Where's my other truck? Other truck? No. No. You are the other truck. Whoa. Okay. I've got a good idea of what happened to you. I'm guessing that while I turned off the traffic, there is still a train somewhere. I don't think I can just disable trains like I can traffic. Well, this is very unfortunate, because I can't think of any other reason why he'd be all the way over here unless a train smacked into him. So let's just back you up a bit. I keep forgetting I have the steering wheel turned on, so my keyboard, when I try to drive with the keyboard, it's fighting with me trying to drive with the steering wheel. And I'm really hoping in editing that you guys can't hear the loud squeakiness of my steering wheel. I need to figure out if there's a way to apply some oil to it because it is extra squeaky. And my mirror clipped through the fence and is catching me up. Tell you what, we're just going to drive over this railroad. Okay. Alright. Now, can I just turn you in here and say go? I can't because I am way too close. Alright, here we go. One more try. Go. You can do this. You cannot. Okay. Okay. It's alright. I overestimated the truck's ability to figure this out. It's my fault. You are now good to go, and your partner in crime is going to be coming up right behind you. It's a very dapper-looking gentleman. I did not look this fancy when I was driving semis. Alright. I am going to hop back over to the farm now. And we are going to just take over from this guy. This is perfect timing. And get that out of our way. And we're going to try and force ourselves to get used to this here steering wheel again. And we've got, I don't know. Part of me is not that picky about my animal structures, and I don't plan on doing a ton of animals, like just a handful of each type. But part of me wants to come in and edit the map and put in a good American style like dairy setup and update the pig barn and stuff with more of an American style hog setup. I'm not sure if I'm going to find the time. We're going to play with everything on the map as it is to start with, though. Because I want to experience everything the map has to offer. And at some point I'm really going to have to read how these new seasons beef cow mechanics work. I'm pretty sure I just feed them till they're fat and then I sell them, which is simple enough, but I don't know when the right time is to sell them. So maybe there's an indicator or something in the seasons menu as to how ready they are. Now, did I say we were going to do this again? I did, and we did not set up an auto-drive destination over by the animals. So, before I get distracted, let's just double-check. Is there an indicator? It says newborn. He's a pretty big cow to be a newborn. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, so I'm going to drive back over here. We're going to pick up one more load of cows. And then we're going to go back up to the farm, and hopefully both of our trucks are actually there, and we can reload them. We are making a killing on corn, which is awesome. And the other reason why I don't mind paying a driver to haul my corn for me is, well, A, it's somewhat realistic, and B, it lets us get a few other jobs done here at the same time. And so we're going to grab 6 more cows here. And then that should be about perfect from a feeding perspective, I think. And we will be able to skip ahead to spring. We've got some interesting things for spring. I picked up a update to our sprayer and the spray control mod, thanks to some assistance from some of the viewers. And so we're going to be taking a closer look at that. And when I say assistance, I mean a lot of help, a lot of messages to Facebook. And I do apologize, I am not the biggest Facebook or Facebook Messenger guy. I did set up a Facebook page for the channel as really a method to communicate with other farm sim groups and things like that. And then I realized that most groups you can't join as a page. So much for protecting anonymity when I have to join as an individual to almost all of the Facebook groups out there. So I don't know. I've got a Facebook page. Most of the updates there are usually just me sharing updates about the channel and or sharing updates about mods and things when I get a chance and come across it. Something that I'll probably spend a little bit more time on as things progress here. I've been super excited about the growth of the channel. We've tripled the size of the channel in about last, what, 3.5, 4 weeks. So that's been really exciting. So I do appreciate everybody who's joining the community. Alright, enough of that. Let's get back into the farming. See if I can do this without running into any fences. We should probably stop before we open the menu next time. Limousine. We're going to buy 6 more of these. Clickety click. Confirm. And all we have to do is get back out to the... Oh, wait. This time, I'm going to remember. We're going to set up a point real quick. Even if I have to drive through. Because this will be a nice one-way road. Alright. So we took a little bit of a break there to set up an animal point so that we can send the truck back to the animal buy point without having to do a lot of hassle in the future, because I believe that's also where we sell our animals. And so we're going to let this guy do his thing. We're going to go back to the farm and we're going to load up these trucks one more time. I think we've got, let's look here, we got about 9,000 bushels and we're moving about 3,000 between the 2 trucks. A little bit more than 3,000. Whoops. Again with the steering wheel. So if we're moving a little over 3,000, like 3,400, we've got a few more trips to make here. And so we're just going to load them up. And I guess I could just run, well, let's just do 1 truck at a time. Because I won't make it back, and then I'll have to start the augers, and so on and so forth. And so we're finally getting into a little bit of a routine or a rhythm here. We've got a good handle on the farm, on the mechanics. And so... as I was starting to say, we're going to introduce some new mods with some new mechanics into the mix and try out the spray control mod. And we got an update to our sprayer so that we're going to be able to turn sections on and off. And it also has some really cool like weeding functionality where if I'm spraying and there's weeds, it'll only spray if there's weeds underneath the section. And I don't know, there's some really cool stuff, and I've never played with it, but I've seen it on Facebook, and I believe it's a, well, the sprayer is from Perma Mods, which I think I've already linked, so it's the R4045 that has the sprayer attachment, or the manure system hose attachments, and then I'm going to find the link to the spray script is a GitHub page, and I'll get the links to that out there as well. And so I'm really looking forward to trying that out here. And so I think what we're going to end up doing is just putting some spray down on this big field maybe. Or maybe we'll do field 7 because that'll be a good one to test turning sections on and off. And so that is the plan once we get into spring here. I don't think it makes much sense to spray frozen ground. Alright, so now that we've got our corn loaded up, these drivers are going to take that back, and we're getting right back up to the farm here with the animals. And so I'm just going to drive this right through this sell point here because it's quick, and see if I can find the driveway here. That's right. And this will be our last load of animals for today. I think 3 loads is about right. Maybe we'll get a 4th load eventually here. We'll spread them out a little bit so I don't have to sell them all on the same day as well. And if I hit R, I can just move these guys. Move. The livestock trailer is full. Oh. Because I didn't need to hit move, I needed to hit confirm. Alright. So now I've got a number of cows there. They need some water, and they need some hay slash silage for sure. I'm really surprised, oops, wrong menu, that they've got grass still. I mean, there's no snow on the ground, so I guess they could be eating grass. It's just odd is all. So let's drive this truck back up. And again, I haven't played with animals and seasons very much, so feel free to leave a comment below if I'm doing something wrong or saying something wrong, so that I can learn. I think I've learned more about various mods and game mechanics in the last month than I would have expected, given that I've been playing Farming Simulator for years now. I'm just kind of played the same aspects of the game for quite a while, so it's really fun for me to try out some new things. And we keep making some good money selling up at the elevator there, so I'm not going to complain about that. And let's see if we can get these bales going. So I've got a side deck that I don't use very often. So let's try that out. And if we go, ooh, we can go in cab here. Oops. I don't know how good of a grab I've got on this bale, but I've got it. We didn't hit anything. Alright. I think the one thing that in-cab does do for me is I tend to drive a bit slower when I'm in cab, because it brings back, it feels a little bit more real, and so when I'm in cab, I'm less likely to try and go 20 miles an hour across the yard in my tractor. So we will maybe use that for jobs like this, because this tractor gets awfully tippy when you're driving 20 miles an hour with a bale hanging out the front. I also, the one thing I wish is that the unit convert mod and seasons played nice together, so I get a lot of questions about what I'm using to get bushels and tons. And I think it's the single most asked question on my channel over the last few weeks. And so if you look in here, I've got bushels for all the grain fill types. I've got tons for the bulk things. And that is a mod called Unit Convert Lite. There's a config file. There's actually an in-game configuration window somewhere, I think. I don't even remember how to turn that on. I think I just went in and edited my XML file when I did it. So there is a menu in here somewhere. In fact, we could just double check real quick. And it's the kind of thing that with so many questions, I'm tempted to do a tutorial on it, but the mod isn't currently able to be downloaded. And so my point being is it's an amazing mod, and I love being able to see things in bushels and tons and use the units that I'm used to as an American. And what I was trying to say before that, though, is I wish that it played nice with seasons. I mean, almost crashed into that guy. And when I say that, I mean if I come in here to the animal window, it's the pounds are fine, but I've still got liters stuck everywhere in here. And so I really wish that I could convert all of these items and get the two things to play nice together. I'm sure it's possible. I've just not personally done it. So if we actually go back in there, I forgot to check. So we're good on food for a little while. And so I'm not too worried about where we're at. So let's get back over here and finish loading up these trucks. I really need to move this waypoint back to somewhere. Edit mode. Middle mouse button. drag you back to maybe about there. And open the covers. There's a difference between unloading and loading. I'm okay with having to jump in the truck and move it a little bit every time because I'm going to have to do that anyway. I just want it to be in the best spot for one of the two at least when he comes in. And that's the one thing I love about the auto drive mod so far is that you can just make a quick little change like that without having to re-record a course or do anything drastic. It's just push a button, drag the point, done and moving on. A lot of people are asking for course play tutorials, and so I'm thinking maybe I'll do one tutorial type video a week, and just based on where I see some interest, I'll try to prioritize. And so especially if it's like something that I'm doing for an episode, I can kind of pause and do a hybrid video for a second and kind of put the tutorial together, even though it's part of the playthrough, and release that as something standalone. And so in the spring, when we have a lot of field work coming up, maybe we'll do a basic course play tutorial, because it can be a little bit complicated to get set up, I guess, if you're not familiar with things like GitHub and whatnot, but it's really not that bad. It's pretty straightforward. It works pretty well. Updating it is pretty easy as well when new versions come out, so we've got that queued up as well. All right, now you are also good to go again. So we're going to fire you off. And I believe that's going to finish up all of the stuff that we have to do in winter here. If I just check one more time, we've got one more load of corn to sell. And if I look at the market, we're not going to be selling soybeans until summer. And so that's going to be fine. We're going to have animals for a while that we just have to keep an eye on every couple of days. Or every day, really. We'll toss some food out there, and it takes a little bit more than a bale every 2 days, I believe. There's enough food for 2 days usually, so that'll be easy going. And then, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and finish selling this last load of corn off camera, and we'll jump back in to spring. So as it turns out, I did not actually install the mods that I was planning on showing off here in spring yet on the game. I must have forgot to click them on the load screen. And so if we just take a step back here real quick and look at the money that we've earned so far, we've made $765,000 selling our corn over the last 2 days. Some of that has gone towards various expenses, but we've got $620,000. And so since this is episode is running a little bit long here, I thought what we'd do is just take a quick look at the map and maybe buy a field with that money that we've earned from the corn harvest. We've got a pretty good chunk of land here around the main farm, and we planted a little bit of grass here in field 1 just to support our animals in the short term. But I really don't want to be hauling stuff back and forth here between the farms. And so I thought it would make sense to go ahead and grab one more field here. And this field 16 looks about the right size. I was thinking about buying field 11, but it's a pretty big field. And I wouldn't want to do grass on such a large field. And it's outside of our price range. So I was thinking 16 would be perfect for us. We can break that up, do some crops, some grass, do whatever we need to do on this field to support the animals. And it kind of wraps all the way around, which is good. And it leaves us with just a little bit of money to continue to operate the farm until summer, when we'll need some money. When we'll get some money from selling our soybeans. So I'm going to go ahead and just buy this next field. And that's going to give us, again, some additional things to do come spring. A little bit of a new field. And again, my objective is to slowly get, well, slowly, as fast as we can, but get all the land on the map, try all the different features. And so this will give us something different to work on camera. We can let some workers take care of fields that maybe we've already done before, and just slowly work our way around the map and see the different areas. That is a tall fence. And so this will be a nice field here on the backside of the cows. It's a little bit interesting. It's got some curves, goes around the creek. And so I'm looking forward to coming over here and working some land on the other side of the map here. So with that, I think we're actually going to wrap this episode up rather than getting into spring, and it'll be better to just kick off spring at the start of the next episode. So I really appreciate all of the comments and activity we've gotten on the videos. Hope you're enjoying the series. If you are, go ahead and leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and that's all for today. Kedrick, out.